variations in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I've actually seen a bit of discourse concerning this particular topic, where on one end, there are people who do want to see lots of variations of characters in the game. And then on the other side, there are people who don't want to see lots of variations of characters in the game. And I already gave my initial opinion on this topic on Twitter, but I thought it'd be best to actually make a video on it as well. So today, I'm gonna give you guys my own personal thoughts as to whether or not I would like to see lots of variations or no variations in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. First off, the concept of this character is taking up a character slot from this character doesn't exist, and it's never existed. And the reason is because the developers are able to make any character they want so long as they follow the rules that the IP holder has set for them. And not only that, none of us work for these companies. We don't work for Toei, none of us work for Bandai Namco, none of us work for Spike Chunsoft. So we don't know any of the internal conversations they've even had to determine which characters do or do not make the cut for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And on top of all of that, what really eradicates the notion of a character slot is because DLC exists. And with DLC existing, it doesn't matter how many character slots there are, they can add whatever character they want whenever they want. And they can do it for as long as they want as well. And a good example of that specific notion is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 had a set base roster, but of course, they ended up getting DLC. And from 2016 all the way to hopefully this year with DLC Pack 17, they're still getting a constant flow of DLC into the game, further expanding the character roster. So again, the notion of character slots doesn't really exist. Next is that modern Dragon Ball games, and to clarify modern, we'll have modern be from Budokai 1 all the way up till now, have always had variations of characters, and it's never been an issue before. And there is quite literally a mountain of examples from plenty of previous Dragon Ball games up to this very moment where they've had variations of characters and it hasn't been an issue. And it would take me far too long to get through literally all of them, but to give you guys a few, we have Budokai 1, for example, where they had Kid Gohan, Teen Gohan, and Great Saiyaman. All those are variations of Gohan. Or we have Budokai 3, where we had Kid Gohan, Teen Gohan, Adult Gohan, and also we have Kid Trunks and Future Trunks, all of which are variations of characters. We have Xenoverse 2, for example. I have to prepare myself mentally for this. We have Base Goku, Super Saiyan God Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Ultra Instinct Sign Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku, and Goku GT. All of those are completely different variations of Goku in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and all of them are playable characters that nobody has an issue with concerning them being variations. And even going with a bit more of a recent game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, we have Base Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and then we have Base Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Again, variations of the same character, but nobody has a major issue with any of those characters. Again, variations have been a thing in Dragon Ball games for a very, very long time, and nobody has had a major issue with it at all. And finally, there is absolutely no harm in giving the general consumer a variety of options at all. Like, when it comes down to the Tenkaichi series specifically, it is well known for its roster. And again, when the game was teased last March, before we even got the title of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, one of the first things that people were speculating about was how many characters were going to be in the game. Because again, the Tenkaichi series is known for having a very large roster that includes variations of certain characters. And not only that, there's nothing wrong with having those variations, because even if you want to be the most competitive player in the world, or if you want to be the most casual player in the world, it gives you an extra character to play as. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's people out there who've had fond memories of, I don't know, pinning up, we'll say Cell Jr. versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I mean, it's absolutely dumb, but you can do it. And that is what matters at the end of the day. You have an option to pick whoever you want and pin them up against whoever you want, regardless of how much it makes sense or how much it doesn't make sense. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to have fun with the game. And of course, more characters, just on a business standpoint, is going to sell more as well, because When people think of, for example, Tenkaichi 3, apart from like the combos and whatnot, they're thinking of the character roster. And this game is going to have base roster 164 characters, which makes it the largest roster on a console Dragon Ball game. That alone is enough to push sales, apart from it just being the sequel to Tenkaichi 3. So again, giving us that type of variety, it's never been a bad thing. And again, like I said previously, it's already been proven with all sorts of previous Dragon Ball games, ranging from the Budokai series, the Tenkaichi series, the Xenoverse series, Fighters, even Battle of Z had variety of certain characters. And they all still did relatively well. Obviously, there are some exceptions out there of Dragon Ball games that aren't too good, but apart from that, again, variety, it's never hurt. So to wrap this up, I see absolutely no downside to having variations of characters in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And I know people are gonna try to bring balancing into the conversation, but when it comes down to balancing a character, that has no correlation with there being a variation of said character at all. Now, it does correlate with the utility of the character, but that utility literally branches to every single character in the game. So again, balancing, this game is going to have balancing issues regardless, because there are 164 characters that are going to be in this game. There is no way in the world this game will have any type of remote balance, or it could, who knows, but I'm pretty sure there will be some sort of balancing issues in the game. I mean, a prime example of that would be Xenoverse 2. When that game first launched, Dodoria was actually one of the most snapped characters in the game, but eventually he ended up getting balance patched. But just to prove my point, you can have a lot of characters on a roster, but there's no way that you'd be able to balance them all, or at least on day one. Maybe down the line, sure, but on day one, probably not gonna happen. But regardless of all of that though, at the end of the day, so long as people are able to pick up the game and they're able to have fun with it, that's all that matters. But those are my thoughts on the notion of should there be variations or not in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I stand by saying that there should be, and that there is no issue with it. There's never been an issue with variations in Dragon Ball games in the past, and I don't think that's gonna start when Sparking Zero releases. But I do wanna know what you guys think about this entire topic in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And just side note, look, without variations in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, we would have access to one of the GOATs of Dragon Ball, Goku Mid. I mean, look at my GOAT, man. Just look at him. Are you telling me that you don't want that in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Because I don't know about y'all, but I do. Okay, I want Goku Mid in the game. And best believe, I'm playing that character, Goku Mid, and all the other variations. I'm playing them.